Hi, I'm Justin. If you ever struggled to stay consistent, you're not alone.
Here's how I went from being a 130-pound college dropout doing drugs every day to gaining 40 pounds of muscle and finally getting my shit together.
3 steps to build a more consistent and disciplined lifestyle, okay? I didn't come up with these steps, all right? I did not invent these strategies. These are techniques that I learned from my time in the military and from my experience in the fitness industry of over half a decade. So during this video, we're gonna go over all 3 steps and explain exactly how you can apply them to your specific goals. These are strategies that I was taught, I learned from the military, and I promise you, I guarantee you, you will build more consistency if you follow these next 3 steps. So let's jump into it. All right, so the first thing we want to do, the first step to build more consistency is we got to lower the bar to entry, okay? We need to make the steps as simple as possible so that they're as achievable as possible. So many people will just get this instant spurt of motivation. They'll watch some David Goggins motivational speech.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
You know, they'll watch Rocky or something, get super hyped up, and they're like, tomorrow, 4 a.m., going on a run, But dude, like, you're not gonna be able to go from 0 to 100 like that. Okay, you have to work your way there by habit stacking. So rather than making yourself do all this crazy stuff, waking up at 4 a.m., going on a run, working out 7 days a week, you need to set the bar low so you can make it achievable and do it consistently. And then once you do it consistently, then we can add more difficult tasks on top of that, but we gotta start smaller. What that means in terms of actionable steps is if you're going to the gym, you've never really been consistent with fitness, do not set a goal to go 7 days a week, okay? Make the bar low. Say, I'm gonna go to the gym twice a week, okay? Twice a week, that's it. If you're trying to read more, you're trying to read a self-improvement book, don't say you're gonna read a book every single week. Make the bar to entry as low as possible. So rather than setting a goal to read at least 1 book a week, set the goal to read 1 paragraph a day, okay? Do 1 set in the gym a day. Make the task as easy as possible so that you can build consistency. And then once you're consistent in whatever you're doing, then we can slowly make it more and more difficult throughout the week. Start small, do the small things consistently, and then we can progressively get more difficult as we build our consistency doing something easy. Now we're gonna do our set here. We got incline bench on the Smith machine. We got 185 on the bar here. So let's go ahead and rep this out. And if you don't wanna see me huffing and puffing, repping this weight, then you can go ahead and skip through. I'll add some timestamps below. All right, here we go. Let me move my mic because I'm gonna be breathing, huffing and puffing. I don't wanna be blowing into the mic. Where the frick am I gonna put this? We'll just put it on the side here. Hopefully the bar doesn't crush my mic. All right, so when we're doing incline bench press, the first thing that we wanna do is pinch our shoulder blades back. So I'm gonna retract my scapula here, get my shoulders back, and we wanna keep our chest in front of our shoulders the whole time. Make sure we plant our feet nice and firm on the ground. We wanna use the lower body to really push through the ground and stabilize ourselves as well. All right, so I'm gonna be going about 1.5 times shoulder width. We don't wanna be going in here because the closer in we come, the more triceps we're working. The farther out we go, the more tension's gonna be on our wrists. So we wanna go about 1.5 times shoulder width. All right, we got 12 reps there. We're doing 4 sets here of incline Smith machine bench, but we're gonna go ahead and skip to the rest. You guys don't have to watch me do the same thing over and over again. So we are on set 3 now. The first set, we got 185 for 12 reps, and that was at RPE 8, so we're holding back 2 reps in reserve for that first set. The second set, we got 185 for 14 reps, and that was RPE 9, holding back 1 rep in reserve. So since we got 14 reps, we're gonna bump the weight up a little bit because we're trying to stay in the 10 to 12 rep range, all right? So we put 5 pounds on both sides. So now we're up to 195, trying to get to around 10 to 12 reps. This is RPE 10. So we're going to failure all the way. Okay. All right. So we got, I'm not gonna lie, I lost count there. Brain fog is hitting hard. Used all my brain cells on that last rep. I think it was around 12 or 13 reps. My math ain't so good. So let me know in the comments if I'm just an idiot. So now we're gonna go to our last set, RPE 10, and then after that, we'll move on to the next point. Last set. Feeling juicy. Okay, now the fly machine just opened up, so we're gonna go do some flies and we'll talk about our second point. All right, so the second step is super important, especially if you're struggling to just show up. If you're struggling to get your foot in the gym, if you're struggling, just open up that self-improvement book you've been wanting to read. This next step is really gonna help you to get the ball rolling, to get moving, to show up, okay? And that is the just one rule, okay? So the just one rule is exactly what it sounds like. Instead of going to the gym, doing a whole 2-hour workout, and just feeling the anxiety, knowing that you have to do that, tell yourself you're just gonna do one. And give yourself the freedom to just go and do one set instead of the whole 2-hour workout, okay? Chances are, since you're already there doing that one set, you're probably gonna finish the whole workout, okay? But also give yourself the freedom to just do one set and leave, because something is always better than nothing, all right? And this applies to every aspect of whatever goal you're trying to accomplish. If you wanna do a reading goal, you wanna read a self-improvement book every single week, set a goal to just read one sentence, to read one paragraph. That's it, right? If you're trying to learn a new language, go on Duolingo for just 1 minute. And chances are, since you're already there, you've already stepped foot into the goal itself, you're gonna be able to continue and get it to completion. If any of this is helpful, if you're getting any sort of value from this video at all, I would really appreciate it if you could do me this huge favor and like the video. It really helps me out. It's totally free, just takes a tap. So if you could do that, that'd be so helpful. We're gonna do some chest flies here. So we did 4 sets of incline Smith machine bench. Now we're doing some chest flies. A good rule of thumb when you're doing any sort of workout is start with your heavy compound lifts, then go to your isolation lifts. Now there are always some exceptions to that rule depending on what you're struggling with. If you're struggling with the mind-muscle connection of a certain muscle group, then we can use some pre-exhausting movement techniques, yada, yada, yada. But as a general rule of thumb, start with your heavy compound lifts, then do your isolation lifts. So when we're doing chest flies here, one of the most important things that really makes chest flies great is the stretch. You get that stretch at the back like no other. And there's a ton of evidence showing how important the stretch is in creating that awesome muscle growth that we're all looking for, okay? So what we wanna do here is we wanna set these arms back as far as possible to allow for the most amount of stretch that we can handle. We did 2 warm-up sets here, so we're gonna go into our first working set. This is RPE 8, so we're holding back 2 reps in reserve, and we got 120 on the weight stack. Let's get it. 2. All right, that was RPE 9. This third set, our final set, going all the way to failure. RPE 10, set 3. Gotta get hyped for this one. Gotta summon the chi. Align the chakras. Partials. Oh my god. Whoa. The burn. The burn burns. All right. Let's go ahead and jump to the next exercise, and then we'll go over our third point. Now, before we jump into this third step, you guys got any sort of value from this? Okay, if you're liking this kind of content at all, if you're on your self-improvement journey, go ahead and check out my channel, okay? All the content is designed to help you guys on your self-improvement journey, from the tips, the techniques, the strategies that I learned battling drug addiction, battling depression and anxiety, going through the military, and gaining 40 pounds of muscle, okay? So if you guys are on your self-improvement journey, go ahead and subscribe, check out some of the content. All right, this third point is arguably the most important point. This is the one that helped me the most, okay? So definitely make sure you implement a routine, okay? Our third point, you gotta have a routine. Now, I'm not saying you gotta time block everything out every minute of every day. It's not what I'm saying. That won't work for a lot of people, and I don't do that personally. What I am saying is that you set yourself up for success by having a set time or, set schedule for your non-negotiables. So what does that look like in real time? Okay. For example, me personally, I'm really working on my mind and just developing my mindset to be more oriented around Jesus, around God, really building my religion and really getting closer and stronger in my faith. So because that's one of my goals, the first thing that I do every single morning, right when I wake up, is I journal. I write down things I'm grateful for, do some daily affirmations, write my goals, do some stuff for my mindset, and then I read the Bible. That's a non-negotiable for me. Journal, read the Bible, pray, okay? And that entire task, all three of those only takes like 20 minutes. So it's not super time consuming, right? Low bar of entry, and it's built into my routine. So now I don't have to think about it, I just do it. And the reason that routines are so freaking important is because it takes out the time and the ability to talk yourself out of situations, to talk yourself out of doing what you know you need to do, okay? So rather than time blocking everything out though, pick what's most important to you. If you're trying to develop your fitness, you're trying to grow muscle, build a body you can be proud of, you need to put that into a routine. So what this could look like is maybe first thing in the morning, you go to the gym, okay? Maybe right after work, you have your gym bag in your car, you have pre-workout, you have a snack ready to go. So right on your drive home from work, you go to the gym. Maybe right after lunch or during lunch, you go to the gym. But you need to have a set time, a set routine to do the things you don't want to do, which will take out the guesswork and take out the ability to talk yourself out of doing what you need to do. Okay, so build your goals into your routine. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you want to know exactly why I was doing the exercises I was doing, why I was holding reps back, why I was using RPEs, go ahead and check this video out. It's going to go over exactly the program that I'm utilizing to build my chest and really prioritize the double Ds. All right, so check out this video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.